When we're a kid and we're learning to tie our shoes, we don't know how to do it, right? You don't know how to tie your shoes when you're born. It's something you have to learn. And how do we learn? Well, we have the action, and it's repeated, right? We learn to tie the shoes by being shown it by our parents, shown it by our parents, shown it by our parents, and eventually we learn to copy the idea. How does this work? It works by the idea being put here many times. Now when we're young, the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, the barrier is not so strong. We've not had so many life experiences. We haven't got a strong opinion about anything. So it's very easy to teach us how to do things and show us how to do things, because the subconscious mind will accept things are possible. Whereas when we get older, we accept they're not possible. This is very true. I know this very well from teaching English. Older students find it very difficult to learn because they've already accepted, most of them, that they're not very good. And because they've accepted it, it's gone in here and it controls the vibration, it controls their ability to speak. Learning a language, anybody can do it at any age, but as we grow we develop opinions about what we can do and what we can't do. And those opinions are repeated over and over and over and over again, and that controls the level of somebody's language production. But it's the same with everything else. So, we've got to build an idea. Now the idea has to be in the present. We're talking about talking in the present tense. Present tense is I am. What are you? Well, you're going to be happy, right? And you're going to be grateful. Now that. Boom, 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 boom. And build the picture, build the idea. Now the idea is that you're healthy, fit, strong. Right? You're healthy, fit and strong. You're healthy, fit and strong. And we start with this. I am so happy and grateful now that I am healthy, fit and strong. I am so happy and grateful now that I am healthy, fit and strong. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am healthy, fit and strong. I am so happy and grateful now that I am healthy, fit and strong. That's one way of doing it. The other way, what is it that you want to see? You've got years of life ahead of you. Do you want to see Scott and Sarah get married? Do you want to see Tom and Jess get married? Do you want to go somewhere? What is it you want to do? What's your motivation? Just getting better, just saying I'm going to fight it, isn't enough. What is it that motivates you? Because it's going to be tough, it's going to be a battle, it's going to be struggle all the way through. But you can beat it, you've got the power within you, Big Dave. But the question is, what is it you want? I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm fit and healthy and strong, and what? Build this idea. To begin with, it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy, and you will know it's a fantasy. It's not a fantasy because it's impossible, it's a fantasy because you've accepted you're sick, and this idea is going to be fought against by the habit that's here. But it's a simple process. The more times you repeat it, even though you know it's not true right now, but you think it's true, you believe it, you have faith that it's true, the more you think about it, you impress this part, the subconscious mind. And essentially, all you're doing is hypnotizing it. You're hypnotizing it deliberately. Now this might sound like craziness, but scientists have done studies on this, and they did it when they were training the NASA astronauts. And when they were training the NASA astronauts to go to the moon, they did simulations where they would have their eyes closed and they would be imagining and picturing certain scenarios of how to act if something goes wrong or whatever. And what they found, the scientists found, was that the same muscles fired in the body, the same triggers came from the brain or the mind, the same things happen in the person mentally as it would if they were actually doing it physically. In other words, the NASA scientists, who were pretty smart, let's be honest, they understood that this process is real. What it means is that your subconscious mind here cannot understand, it can't distinguish rather, between what is real and what's imaginary. But it's got a program in there already. It's got a program that you're sick. It's got a program that you're sick, and it's controlling the vibration of your body, the frequency your body's operating at, and the frequency all those trillions of cells are operating at. So what do we need to do? We need to change the program. And how do we do this? We repeat this positive statement, I am so happy and grateful now that I'm healthy, fit and strong, and build your motivation. Your motivation might be to see me. Your motivation might be to come to Korea. Your motivation might be for Song to cook your kimchi. Your motivation might be to see a pretty girl. Whatever it is, whatever you want to do. But you've got to build it strong, and we've got to repeat it, because we've got to change this program. Understand this. The program you have at the moment is going to be very, very strong and powerful, because it's very real, it's very scary, it makes you worry, but worry never achieves anything. But it's like all these times you've thought about being sick, I built this massive tower, and it's far easier for you to stay in this tower than it is to build a new one. It's like you've already made a road in your mind, right? You've made a road, a trail to follow, and it's far easier to walk that trail, in other words, to think that way, than to start thinking in the new positive way. Because this trail is much longer, it's much cleaner, it's much easier for your brain to automatically go down. And that's what's happening here. You've got a program here that is automatic. But you need to shift that program. The way you do it is by deliberately choosing to build another frequency. Everything is frequency. Understand that. Everything is frequency, but at the moment, this disease frequency is strong. The health frequency is weak or non-existent, depending on where you are mentally. Now, when I say to say these things, it's not just verbally say them, it's what you're saying in your head to yourself. You talk to yourself all the time, you're thinking all the time. Now, it's how you think about it. If you get involved in a negative idea about your health, no good can ever come of it. A negative idea has a negative frequency. You need a positive frequency. This is a negative one, and you have this. I'm not saying you did it on purpose, but it's there. And we've got to understand this process, and we've got to get rid of it. How do we get rid of it? Well, we stop sending energy to it. We stop broadcasting this frequency. Now, the only way to stop broadcasting it is to start broadcasting something else. Why? Because nature hates a vacuum. You can't get rid of this before you build this. This is the frequency that will help. This will change how your cells act. It will change everything about you. The whole structure of your body will change due to the frequency you're inputting into your own brain. And the frequency needs to be this positive statement, this positive understanding, this accepted truth that you are now happy and grateful because you're healthy, fit and strong, and the rest of it. Because you say this once, it's like you broadcast the frequency just once and then it's gone. This frequency is constant, the disease frequency. It's constant and it's automatic now. It's the vibration you're in, but you need to change it. And the only way you change it is by deliberately choosing to build a healthy frequency. By deliberately choosing to build a frequency that will make your body cells produce more of the good stuff and less of the bad stuff. That will make the cells come back quicker, faster, the good cells, than the bad cells. The more we build this frequency, it gets to the point where we're tipping the balance. The more we build it, the higher up it gets, and this replaces this because it's overpowered. It's a simple idea. It's like you've got a whole set of scales, and for the last 6 months or year or whatever, since you started thinking you were sick, every time you thought you were sick, you put a kilogram weight on one side and nothing on the other. And obviously, it's heavy as hell right now. It's heavy as hell, all in the wrong direction. This is where we need to be. How do we do it? We start building. We start putting kilos, tens of kilos, 20 kilos, hundreds and hundreds of kilos of positive frequency on the other side. We don't have to accept this is true. In fact, it's not. It's not true unless you believe it's true. Now, at the moment, to begin with, this will seem like a fantasy. It will seem really tough because there's a battle going on. A battle going on between this frequency and the new one. Because this one, although it's terrible, it's comfortable. It's comfortable because it's not requiring change. It's not comfortable thinking about the results. It's not comfortable thinking about that. But this is the dominant signal. This is the dominant frequency. And as a result, this is comfortable. It takes effort to change. It takes effort to change anything, but you have to change it. So, you've got to deliberately build this frequency. You've got to do it every day. Every morning when you wake up. Every evening when you go to bed. And in between as much as you can. Repeat this to yourself. Get your phone and record a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, just you repeating this phrase to yourself. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm happy, fit and strong, and the rest of it. Put as much emotion and feeling into it when you're saying it. And listen to it, play it, replay it over and over and over and over again. But consciously listen to it. Because when you're listening, you know, as well as I do, that you can get distracted and start thinking of something else. And the listening part, your ears shut off and you're picturing those things in the brain. So we've got to understand that. The other thing we have to understand is that this frequency is controlled by pictures. It's controlled by pictures. The way we think is in pictures. And everybody thinks in pictures. If you close your eyes right now, and I'm going to say a few words to you, and you're going to get pictures for every word I say. Are you ready? Close your eyes, Uncle Dave. Understand this as truth. Tess, you got a picture of a dog. Graham, Scott, Tom, banana, orange, apple, Derby, fishing. Anything you like, you got a picture for. Now what's the picture of you? Close your eyes. You. That picture will be one way or the other. It will be positive or negative. But you need to build that picture as positive and as strong as you can. So we think in pictures, which means we need to visualize. Visualize what you want. Visualize you being healthy, happy, fit, strong, and everything else. Spend 10 minutes to 20 minutes twice a day. More if you can, as often as you can. Just sitting there, eyes closed, put some peaceful music on, and consciously focus on this picture of you. Build the picture in your mind of how you want to be. Of you being this healthy person that you want to be. The second thing you need to do is understand, visualize it. Make this picture as clear as possible. Make it so clear that you can see it, taste it, smell it. Fill it with all the details. Right? What do you want to do? How much kimchi do you want Song to make you eat when we come back? Yeah? Where do you want to go? If there's a favourite place you have, if that's your motivation, picture yourself there with whoever it is you want to be there with. With Linda, with Tom, with Scott, with Sarah, with me, with whoever. Picture that. Make that picture as full and as fresh as it can be. The smells, the sounds, the sights, everything. Make it as clear as you can in your mind by visualizing it, picturing it. And how do we make this stronger? Well, we write it out. Write out a statement twice a day or more. Visualize for 10-20 minutes. Then write out your statement. It doesn't have to be true now. It won't be true. At the beginning it's a fantasy, but the more you do this, the more you're building an idea here. And your mind works in pictures. The more you build this idea, the more it impresses the idea here. This signal disappears and you get healthy. Because as soon as you change this frequency, and it happens like that, this disappears. But you can't change it without the picture. You can't change it without how you think in your head. Because that way you're thinking in your head is the thing that's controlling the disease. Right, let me just check we're still running. Are we still running? Yes, we are. So, this is important. It might sound like a load of rubbish, and to begin with, it will probably feel like nothing's happening, nothing's taking place. But, it's like this. If you look at my hand, nothing's happened, right? Now close your eyes. In fact, I'm going to go off camera. And I pull my hand back. You don't see any change, do you? Nothing's changed. But I've just pulled out a load of hair from the back of my hand. Now, we can't see this. You can't see that with the naked eye. But the inner eye of understanding lets you understand what's happened. Now, if I did this every day, twice a day, eventually I'd go bald. Right? I've already gone bald here, as you well know, but my hand would go bald. Right? If I kept doing this, I would have no hair on my whole body. But the point is, when we look at it day by day, we don't see any change. It's over time, repetition, repetition, repetition makes the difference. And it's all about visualizing in pictures. Take the medicine, take the lemon water, stay hydrated, but use your mind to help you heal. Because everybody knows. This is why the doctor will tell you to stay positive. You've got to be positive. Why? Because what it's doing is it's focusing on the good, not the bad. It's not about whether this thing exists, it's about what you're doing about it. This is how you do it. You change the signal and you recover like that. You'll be quick and you'll be so much healthier because you understand how it works. I'm giving you stuff I've not made up. It's just stuff I've discovered. This is how everything gets made. Is first in the mind. Everything, your sofa you're sitting on, the TV you're watching this on, everything that you're watching is happening because somebody's had the ideas, and the ideas were just fantasy at one point, like Edison and the light bulb. It was a fantasy to have the light bulb, an absolute fantasy. Same with the TV, same with the cell phone, they're all fantasies. And they just kept dwelling on the idea, dwelling on the idea, dwelling on the idea. The idea sank in, action happened, and because this was the dominant signal, Edison made the light bulb. He tried and failed 10,000 times, but eventually did it. Why? Because every time he failed, he didn't say, it's not going to work. What he did was say, right, what did I learn? He built this positive outlook to build the light bulb. It's the same with disease. It's the same with illness. You've got to build this picture first. Make it dominant, make it strong. And the best way to do this is close your eyes, think about you, and you'll have a picture. And every time it's negative, you've got to replace it. Because if it's negative, you're not going to heal as fast as you need to. You need the positive one there. It doesn't matter what you're going through, it doesn't matter how hard it hurts. Control it here. Control it here. I know it's going to be painful for you, my man. I know it's going to suck. It's got to suck. And I know everybody that loves you wishes this wasn't happening to you. But this is the only way I know I can help you from over here, is by explaining this. Because this process is what my friend used. And I had to explain it to him as well, in a very similar way. But make the mental picture. Get this strong. Change the vibration. Change the result. That's the mental process. These are called affirmations. We visualize. We write this out, this statement. So we've got all of this. And then we've got I am so happy and grateful. Now that I'm healthy, fit and strong, and the rest of it. Say that to yourself. Repeat that to yourself as much as you can. As much as you can. Because you're going to resist it here for a while. But then over time, it will start to build more brain cells. The way the brain works, when you experience something once, it builds one brain cell. In other words, it impresses that brain cell with a picture. When you think it again, it builds another. And it happens at the rate of 30,000 cells a second. So it goes 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and so on and so on and so on. And it can happen at a rate of 30,000 cells a second. So, the more you think it, the more brain cells you've got. The more brain cells you've got, the quicker you change this signal. The quicker you change this signal, your subconscious mind moves you to the vibration where you automatically vibrate at a healthy frequency. And the cancer cells and everything else disappear. Affirmations. Every day, say this to yourself. Be careful about how you're thinking. If you find yourself depressed and down, you can change that. You don't have to stay there. You change it by being conscious, mindful of what you're thinking. And every time you view things as going badly, as negative, as being painful, shift it. Shift it into the picture you're making. Shift it into the picture of you being healthy, fit and strong, and the rest of it. Because you can't keep two signals, a positive and a negative, at the same time. If you're in pain, Mentally, distract yourself. If you're feeling bad, recognize it, focus on what you want. Because if you do this, your body will become supercharged. It will become supercharged with positivity, it will become supercharged with health. And those cells that are all conscious, they will start acting and vibrating in different ways. So we've covered vibration, we've covered affirmations. The affirmations are important, the visualizing is important, the writing this stuff out is important. Get a notebook. This might sound crazy to you, but trust me, this is your best bet. Get a notebook, write things out, visualize, get affirmations, control your self-speak, control how you talk to you. Your words are powerful. Last thing I want to talk to you about is water. I started talking about hydration. I'm going to talk about water now. I sent you a book 2-3 years ago called The Hidden Messages of Water. And it was by Masaru Emoto, a Japanese scientist. And it was all about how intention, how we feel, changes what a water crystal will look like when frozen. And I'm assuming you've read the book, but if not, Masaru Emoto, M-A-S-U-R-O-E-M-O-T, Google image search this guy and you will see what I'm talking about. What he discovered was intention, which is our emotional being. In other words, it's our subconscious mind. The signal here affects water crystals and changes whether they're ugly, beautiful, pristine, damaged, everything else. But the thing is, your body is made of 70 to 90% water, depending on what age you are. It's made of water. This water changes due to our emotional intent, how we're feeling. So change the signal and you change the whole makeup of your body. It's that simple. So, one more time. Affirmations, morning and night. 10 minutes when you wake up, before you go to bed. Positive statements. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm healthy, fit and strong, and the rest of it. Say that out loud. 5-10 minutes a day. As loud as you can, with as much emotion as you can. Visualize 10 to 20 minutes, twice a day, more if you can. And right after you visualize it, write it down in a notebook. Now you can do this when you're in hospital, you can do this right now. But as you get involved with this, you've got to replace this dominant negative with a positive. And the only way you're going to get the positive is by focusing on it. Don't focus on the negative. It's already there. You've got to build this one. And when you build it, my man, everything will get better. You'll get better. Everything will work for you. Because I know that I love you, and Song loves you. I know even Charles, the miserable grumpy bugger, probably loves you. I say probably because nobody knows with that boy. But you can do this, my man. You can do it. It's so simple. It's going to be hard work because it's going to seem like a load of rubbish. But you set an alarm on your phone. Get involved with this. Do it for 3 weeks. Do it for 3 weeks, and you'll keep doing it and keep doing it. And the quicker you do it, the more you do it, the quicker you'll heal. 3 weeks. And I know you're going to be tired. The chemotherapy, the radiation therapy is going to kick the crap out of you. But you don't need a lot of energy for this. You just need a lot of willpower. And I know you've got willpower. So you can do it. Alright, my man. That's the end of this video. I'll send you more junk as the weeks roll past. But you can do it. You can do it, my man. And I know you're going to be healthy, happy, fit, strong, and drinking a pint next time I see you. Maybe that's the thing that will motivate you. Me having to buy you a pint. We'll see. Alright, my man. Take care of yourself. And we love you. Bye-bye.